Okay, let's hope that this works out a little bit better. My last couple of videos just, I don't know, I'm concentrating more on this stuff than I am on cinematography. So I wanted to show you the 10 or so pieces that I put together yesterday from the second bedroom proofs. Um, and this was the first one that I put together that I had been itching to put together. This is a Doris L. Howard piece that I made, well, not quite a few, but okay, I made a lot of changes to. I also needed to know how this went together back here, so then I can alter the pattern and bring this part up, extend this over, and I also need to add in, oh, you can't see it because I put the bottom piece in. There needs to be some tabs right here. I just cut some tabs and glued them in separately to kind of, you can see one of them kind of coming out there. There needs to be a tab there. But other than that, everything else just worked beautifully. I think the design looks really nice on it. The little stool I did from scratch, but I used the directions, like I constructed it in a similar pattern way that Doris Lyon Howard has. So it's the tab on the inside. This would need another little support in the bottom, but I think this turned out really cute. I left this part without a pattern because I thought it would be cute to put a little piece of cloth on there, which, you know, would kind of go with being a little dressing table. So there's that one. I put together, let's get this out of the way. I put together the Monnier bed with the changes. I don't know what I was thinking with these side bump outs. They look so comically tiny. And then, oops, sorry about that. With the pillow pieces, you can see how absolutely dwarfed it is. So it needs to come up. It needs to come up and be much larger. It's nice that I have this as a pattern piece now that I can kind of look at it in the computer and just go, okay, it needs to come down to here, and then this needs to go over. And then this here, which means I'm going to have to change around the design a little bit. And when I say design a little bit, I mean these little extra added bits. I think I'll just go ahead and extend them all the way down. Oh, maybe not, because what has to happen here is there's a tab that's glued in, and these are a tick too short, so you can see they're already kind of pulling. There's a tab in here that needs to go all the way up here where these things are. And there's part of me that's like, well, I could hide it in between these two front and back pieces that are glued together, but I've already got so much going on here that I don't want to test it. So I'm gonna have to work on that one. I do like how this turned out though. And this end with the flip, I just scored it and flipped it, worked really well. The squared legs, I think were okay. There's a part of me that thinks I want to make them round, because it would simply make it easier, but I'm not sure. I have another one of these, I think, and I'll do some more tests on it. So let's put that one over there. I also got to put together, this is one of the Mary Frances housekeeper pieces, and I'm kind of struggling with the length of the overall piece, because these are flip and folds, which I like a lot. It means everything's going to match up. Pardon me, I have a sneeze coming on. Sorry. I like that, but again, I think, I mean, and I made these legs bigger. I need to make these like double to be satisfying to me. And the little ridge part in here, I need to make that much higher. So I'm thinking about taking these apart, taking the head and footboard off, or maybe leaving the footboard on and taking the headboard off, and it's just a flip, fold, and glue, which I think might work a little bit better. But we'll see. I'll have to look at my notes. One of the other little beds, I don't know what I did. You can see here that the legs are not the same length. I don't know what happened. Okay, stop focusing on the monkey and the, my hope is that you'll be able to see things better, but, keeps focusing on the monkey. This turned out much better. I like this bed. I don't like these lines in here. I want to take those out. I want that to be fabric. I want that to be fabric in there too. Because part of me wanted this little bed to go with this. So we'll see. I need to make some changes and we'll get it fixed and we'll see what happens. This is another Doris L. Lyon or L. Howard piece. But I changed it so it was more of it had a top on it, but there's some wonky stuff going on back here. I did print out 2 of these, so I'm gonna change some things around and see in a second one if I can get this to work a little bit better. I like the size. I like what I added in here. I like the clasp and the hardware. It's just that I put a tab on the inside and I think it's just too thick. The tab is attached to the main body and it's too much. It's throwing everything off. You can kind of see that here and it won't close. So I have a couple of options here. I can make these into strap hinges, which I think would kind of look cute, and then eliminate the paper tab that goes inside here, and then it'll only be attached by these, which I think I might add a third one and make it 3 strap hinges. Think strap hinges like what I made for I Live Here, that big cabinet piece. The strap hinges there, but these would be like nicer and very, very small. I think the strap hinges might work better. So I'm going to give that a whirl. And then we went into the wild world of bureaus and shiffer robes. We got a shiffer robe here. This is the one that didn't have any problems last time, but I think I folded something wrong and this didn't quite end up where it needs to go. It's okay. This is from the 40s unknown artist. You can see here, I think part of the problem is this isn't the right size. For some reason, I got a lot of these bottom pieces on the pieces I worked on yesterday. The bottom pieces were like at least a millimeter off on either side, on like one horizontal and one vertical. And I think part of that is the paper. So I'm not quite sure how much I'm going to change on that. This one I'm very pleased with. And again, kind of wanted this one to go with this because I've got kind of similar things going on. I'm very pleased about how the top part turned out. I didn't go in. I haven't cut all this out. I wanted it completely dry. But I think it worked out pretty well. This is the next 2 pieces in this one. I would really like to explore making with movable drawers because that would be super duper easy. You just drop in some pieces of board here and cut a smaller hole, fold a couple of things, and you got a movable dresser. I like how the dresser top turned out. I also like how that turned out. But again, I need to really get in there and finish this bit out. It's just not finished, the illustration work. This is one of the Mary Frances pieces that I did a bunch of changes on, and I liked all of them. I think I'm going to add a curve instead of a notch out, a curve on here. Plus, I'm going to add pattern pieces so that you can make little mirrors to go on them. And when I say make little mirrors, that means you can like buy the inexpensive mirrored kind of sticky stuff, or if you're like me, you just use tinfoil. I think those turned out pretty cute. It's a little clockworky kind of thing. This is one of the original designs that got me going on this stuff. So then I have the really tall, skinny bureau. I don't know where the front pieces for these went because as you can see here, I've got one here. I made one for each of these, and I don't know where they went. So these got printed in like super duper size. I mean, these are like a little bigger than 112. So interesting. I do think that this one is just a little tall to have this on the top. So there's part of me that would like to take this one and just turn it into a chifforobe instead of a bureau. So that might happen because I have an awful lot of these with mirrors. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. And then I put together, I made this one as big as possible. This is the another Monier piece. This is the wardrobe, or shelves or whatever you want to do. And I tested a shelf in there and I put it in really super duper crooked. It was just testing how I want the shelves to go in and at what point during the construction do you glue the shelf in, because this isn't one where I can open it all the way to an edge or get it in and move it up. So it had to be done prior. And I'm not sure I want to actually put it in there now. I think I'll put a bottom in it because for some reason I don't have a bottom for this piece. But again, this is just a test piece. This top piece is going to need to change. There's something that there's the intricacy of the scroll work. I need to bring it down a little bit. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of a change here. But other than that, I think it's okay. And I think I want to add something in here as well. I mean, I could honestly just move this up and into that as far as I can, which I might do, because it's like it's not just sucking up space. And if it's doing that, and if I take that bit out and I extend this up, that means I can put this shelf piece in, which I think would probably be a better idea. So I think this one worked out really well. A lot of the changes that I made to the decoration, especially the black and white here, turned out really nice. Now, what am I going to do for the rest of the day? Well, good question. I think this is kind of cute. This kind of matches what I'm working on. I have pieces that I'll be working on, and it's the Nandor Haunty pieces. The desk, a lot of the Nandor Haunty stuff. Where did I put... I do not know where I put them. I have some beds already glued up and ready to go that are in this family. And, oh, wow, I'm just great with this. So I think I may be working on some of those. But for right now, I'm going to have to sit down and glue a bunch of stuff. That means I'm also going to be shooting a video because I wanted to show you how I use the jig. I also wanted to work on these chairs a bit more. I wanted to make some of these craftsman chairs using the white paper and see if it's still as durable. But all in all, I think I'm about, there's like 70% of it is good to go, and then I just need to zhuzh things around. Like with this one, it's a pretty simple fix. I'm going to pull out those lines, and I'm going to fix this bottom part. Everything else went together like butter. This one is one of those beds that I thought it was going to be too flimsy. If I can get something to focus. But it's actually quite sturdy. It also needs to have a pillow or a bolster or something in here added. So, because I think I want to do, there's something about in the, I think it's in, where did it go? In this one. This is the Un Salon one, and you can see the little bolster behind the pillow, and that's what I view this as, kind of the little bolster that goes behind the pillow. This, of course, would need to be made much smaller to go into the particular bed. But I envision in future when I am making these for my projects, the next Katieland house, that fabric will be included in all of this. Like real fabric in addition to fabric textures that I use on other parts, if that makes any sense. So, yeah. So, thank you, patrons. Thank you for sticking around with me. If you have any thoughts or observations or things that you think might work, let me know. I know we don't do a whole lot of chatting here, but that doesn't mean we can't. So, anywho, I'm going to get back to work, and I'll see you in the next video.